morning there, right along. Checking the truck here. Getting ready to head through the town of Ouray, Colorado. And heading up and over Red Mountain Pass. Don't know how long I'll be able to make video because it looks like it's raining there. And my problem with that is my windshield wipers don't wipe down low enough to keep your view clear. So if I get much in the way of rain, it's not going to be worth doing. But we'll see. I'll have to come up with some kind of solution to that, but I just can't right now think of an easy way of doing it. Probably have to get a whole different mount for the camera, which is fine. Just have to find one that's going to work for the job. I have struggled with that since I started doing any kind of YouTube videos. Today I am running empty, all in a step deck, split axle, spread axle I guess, step deck trailer. Gonna be just picking up some odds and ends out in Mexico. So I'll get it loaded today and then I'll be making the trip back tomorrow. And since I won't be oversized or over length, I may very well take Red Mountain on the way back. Ouray is just dropped right down in the draw in front of us there. Neat little town. They call it the Swiss town of the Rockies, or the Swiss something of the Rockies. It has a little bit of a Swiss feel, but having seen even just Europe, Germany, other Nordic areas of the world, I don't see as much of a Swiss feel as a lot of people are portraying for it. You be the judge. Post in the comments what you think, whether or not this little town looks to be legit or not. Love Ouray though. A lot of hot springs, vapor caves, some good clothing optional places back in here, which I'm always, I'm not a fan per se, but at the same time, I like the fact that you can have the freedom to do that if that's you're so inclined. So yep, here comes the rain. Let's see how badly it muddles the view. Hopefully not too bad. It doesn't even, there's nothing, it just gets in the way of the picture. From my angle, it doesn't do anything. And it's annoying. It's annoyingly loud. I've tried several times to quiet it down, and it'll quiet down a little bit. And then immediately go back to being a noisy son of a gun. Yeah, this is older technology. These flat windows, which are great because I had a rock get tossed up, cracked this driver's side windscreen a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked at how cheap the replacement glass was for it. Like I say, it was under 50 bucks and readily available. So that's about the cheapest thing I've ever purchased from Kenworth. Other than maybe a bumper sticker, which I wouldn't do anyway. really wish my wife were hitting that area, but it's no place. Oh, the red rock through here. Picking up a piece of equipment out here a couple weeks ago. I guess that's going to be my line from now on. It's a week or two ago. It all kind of blends together, but I was picking up a piece of equipment out here. And all these houses up here to the left that are up in the hills. Had to actually turn right here and then go up this road to the left. That's narrow, windy, it's gravel. And came around a corner, literally 3 miles an hour around this corner. And some out-of-state gal in a rental saw me coming around the corner, but apparently didn't realize that I off track and I'm going to be I was right on the edge of going over the edge. I couldn't make that turn any wider. And she just kept going and plowed right into me. I was already committed. I was already in the turn, committed when she came up the road. And I hit the brakes as I saw that she wasn't going to. I thought for sure she'd stop, but no, she just kept going. It's weird. Anyhow, she ran into me, did no damage to my trailer. She was probably doing no more than 5 or 6 miles an hour herself. Put a little tiny scratch on the wheel on her vehicle, but we had to go through the process. Trooper came down, said you guys are wasting my time. Did no report. Said there was no reason to have any even mention of it. He didn't even do a check of the truck, which normally they would. But yeah, it's one of those things. But while we were waiting for the trooper to show up, this lady, and I'm sorry, but there's just some of these residents up here, and they're obviously transplants. They're definitely not native to Colorado. And I might be a little bit of a jerk about that because I am native born. Stops while we're waiting. The road is clear. It's like, are you guys going to be moving on anytime soon? In a rather pretentious way. And I deal with that a lot up here in these mountain towns. That these folks just, how do you think your nice home up here got here? Just don't get it. Just passing the hot springs pool of Ouray. It used to be, I don't know, it used to be pretty rough. They've really improved it. They're getting more touristy. I hope they don't get any more than they are right now. But neat little town. Anyhow, my experience with a lot of the locals, especially, unfortunately, in many of these towns that I have to go to. Crescent Butte is a good example. Just they're so inconvenienced by our presence, yet they're happy to take tourist money, and they're happy to have their little shop that's niche towards the tourists and everything else. And they're happy to take that money and be pretentious jerks Yet at the same time, just no grasp of the fact that you're going to have to be inconvenienced a little bit if you want to have any kind of construction take place. So, yeah, a little frustrating. Sometimes a lot frustrating. Depends on the attitude. But this lady, you could just smell it. How she just holds anyone in contempt that is, not at her financial bracket. It sure puts a bad taste in the mouth of anybody wanting to live here. If that's the kind of people, and unless you're one of them, that's the kind of people you have to deal with. So here we go. Now we're pretty much at the true start of Red Mountain Pass, just as we come out of the town of Ouray. And we're getting lucky on the weather. Hopefully it holds out. Obviously I'm right behind the rain. The road's wet. 74 miles to Durango, 23 to Silverton. Silverton, an old mining town, and its biggest draw now is the Silverton-Durango Railroad, which is a steam-driven train. Right there is Box Canyons, Yankee Boy Basin, all that stuff up there. Box Canyons are pretty cool. Easy walk out there. Definitely worth seeing. Take the kids on that one. It's a great little walk. But back to Silverton. Of course, it was originally a mining town. And then you have the Silverton-Durango Railroad, which is world famous. The unique thing about Silverton, though, is frequently it will be snowed in on both sides, where the town is just cut off. You got a slide up here. There you go. Mountain passes, 7 and 8% grade. They're not joking. But yeah, you get a snow slide on one side and too much snow on the other, and it'll be snowed in, and they're not going anywhere until they clear these passes. And it's happened more times than I'd like to think about. Silverton is really a neat town just because it's still somewhat unfettered. Still has a lot of dirt streets and whatnot. So it makes it a neat town. Hopefully it doesn't get ruined. There's the Box Canyon up ahead there. I'm sure that's what they're talking about, mining country, yada, yada, yada. Entrances to some incredible off-roading adventure. Into the Ouray. Just what an incredible, this is just so beautiful. You notice throughout here with the drop-offs on my right and whatnot, you will not see any guardrails. And there's a reason for that. In the wintertime, you don't want guardrails in the way of being able to push the snow. I'm going to turn my lights on for safety, right? This time of year, actually right now, would probably be a really good time. The raspberries along here, at this particular altitude and whatnot, There's raspberry bushes that grow all over out here. And if you're gutsy enough, in some cases, you can get a pretty good cache of raspberries up here. This is the time of year for it. See, the road's got a little bit of slide issue going on. One of the tunnels. And I hope it doesn't get much more rain. Passes over. Doesn't do a darn thing for your view. I apologize. That's what it is. Motorcyclers love it, but these guys don't look happy. None of them look very happy today. 30 minutes away. Yeah, I can deal with that. And of course, right when we get into the good part is when the rain comes. This is part of the area where everyone kind of freaks out. Because I'm not heavy, I have no issue coming up here, pulling this hill. Flipping rain. Just gonna ride it out anyway. This is the part, this is the best part for the sketchy views. I've seen people take pictures of this. I think they purposely skew it to make it look narrower than it really is. Yeah, it is. There really is a pretty good drop off here on the right. Hopefully you can see it. I think that section right there is a. No, I think there's one more section up here that people point out as being extra sketchy. I've got the road, I'll take it. That looks bad. Yeah, I could see where it, people can have their reservations on this one. A lot of water comes down there. This area right here tends to slide a lot. Shorted up pretty well over the years. It's one of those 4x4 trails. Alpine Loop. Engineer Mountain. 4-wheel drive only, it says. Through the sketchiest part. It gets better up here. Yep, I'm seeing raspberries off to the right there. There's a bunch right there. not too blurred. Now I got some trees and stuff on the right, makes you feel a little better. But you can see how this side is a little bit more pucker worthy than the other side. Next thing you want to get my squeegee out, squeegee that window so you can see better. Of course, when it's wet like this is when you worry about rockfall, and it does happen out here quite a bit. Let's stay on the outside because this is a pretty tight corner. Five or more following. He's only got 3 following. So. I'm not stopping it. I've only got one motorcycle behind me. He's a motorcycle. There's one of the avalanche shelters right here. So they just put that where it commonly slides. And a motorcycle parked in the middle of it, really? And back into the twisties. Loggers do not wave at anybody but loggers. They're one of those groups. I always wave at them, they never wave back. I don't think I've ever had a logger wave back. Ever. It's like cattlemen hauling cows. They don't acknowledge anybody but their own. I guess if you spent your day on logging roads, getting the crap beat out of your kidneys all day long, you probably don't have the energy to wave. Okay. Out of the bad part of Red Mountain, or good part, depending on your perspective, I suppose. All the rental Jeeps. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. There will be another part up here that's pretty good. But with this amount of rain, I don't think it's worth continuing to record. But if you hung out with me and put up with the fact that you can't see a lot because of the rain, I appreciate it. I will find a way to get past that problem with the wipers. and all my other little issues, but you know, that's part of the game, I guess, when it comes to trying to record what you're doing when you're in a truck like this. So anyhow, you guys have a good one. Appreciate you riding with me. Appreciate you hanging out. And I'll have another video going up when we get to the other part of the pass here. So, appreciate it. Chugging a truck. I'm going.